Hi, I'm Dave Elsner, the tech sales coach, and this session is about social job searching and how to get noticed. All right, so the first step to social job searching is your profile. We've got to get your profile updated to show all of the value that you have to offer as an individual looking for a job. So what I would ask you is, what does your digital brand currently say about you? Because it's so important. Like if somebody's searching you on Google, the first thing that comes up in a Google search when I type your name in is your LinkedIn profile, if you have one. So most people go to the LinkedIn profile. So think of your profile as your digital brand or your digital business card. It's also like a digital business card on steroids. It's almost like a website or your personal website. And it's a place for people to find you, to shop for you. So the importance of it is huge when you're going through this. So the first thing I'm going to do is walk you through how to either create or update your profile so that it shows all the value. And the way that I do this is I'll walk you through some slides that shows you the 14 things I recommend you change. And then I'm going to go live to LinkedIn and show you live on LinkedIn as well. I would urge you not to try and keep up with me. You'll get distracted if you try and make the changes while I'm doing it. What I encourage you to do is come back to this recording later so that you can hit the pause button and do each step one step at a time. So these are the 14 things that we're going to be changing. We want to update your banner. We want to update your profile picture if it's not a professional image. We want a headline that describes your expertise because that works for keyword searching. We want to update your contact info. A lot of people don't have their contact info filled out on LinkedIn, so people don't know how to contact you. Then we're going to turn on a couple features called creator mode and services provided, a whole bunch of more keywords to associate with your profile. We're going to want an about section that describes your expertise. Think of this as a mini version of your resume where you want to get right to your expertise. We want an experience section that describes all of the skills that you've built over the year. Then we want to enable something called a featured section where we add media that demonstrates our expertise. So if I'm going after a cybersecurity job, I would be featuring content about cybersecurity itself, demonstrating that I have knowledge there. Then we want to add all of your education because alumni rules. It creates a lot more common connections when you post your high school and any college that you ever went to, whether you graduated or not. You want to add all of your skills. You get up to 50 of them. We want to leverage the accomplishment section where we can put our certifications. And then finally, we want to ask for recommendations from people. This would be, coworkers, former coworkers, bosses, people in this community may recommend each other. And that's important because people usually scroll all the way down to see if you have any recommendations. So one step at a time, I'll go through the 14 steps here, and then we'll go into LinkedIn Live and I'll show you there. But everything starts right here with this Me button. You're going to click on the Me button and you're going to view your profile. Now, if you don't currently have a profile on LinkedIn, you're still going to follow these steps, but the one step earlier is creating a profile. Go to LinkedIn, put in your email address and pick a password. And then you start here. It will guide you through some things. After you get done with what LinkedIn guides you through, go back to this document and this recording to start upgrading it appropriately. So we start with the Me button right here, and then we click on View Profile. And then once we're in our profile, we start clicking on the pencils. And the pencils guide us to the things that we can edit within your profile itself. So the first thing is we want a professional image. Some people struggle with this because they don't know the size. So we've put it right here. It needs to be 400 by 400 pixels. And so what we don't want is Facebook-like pictures. We don't want dogs. We don't want significant others with us. We want a white backdrop or a gray backdrop or something that, clearly lit. And your cameras are so good nowadays that I'm sure you could get a friend, take a picture of you with a white backdrop with good lighting on your face. So the next thing is we want to update a profile banner. Now, LinkedIn gives you some profile banners to choose from. You see them on your screen. But if you have the capability to create your own, I would create your own with a backdrop of the profession that you're looking for. Therefore, if you're looking for cybersecurity or IT engineering, find a suitable image and edit it to fit. You can also go to Canva, and that's Canva, CANVA.com, and they have a pre-built one there that you can create and select one. So, or you can use one of the LinkedIn images. Again, this is edited by clicking on the pencil, and the banner photo size is listed right here, 1584 by 396. All right, next up is we want to change our headline, and we do that by doing edit info. Now, the reason we want to edit our headline, you'll notice here on mine, is we're creating keywords that describe what we are proficient in. And so I put sales training, social selling, sales methods, and therefore, if anybody does a search, my profile may be offered up. So I also like to start with things like I help companies deliver excellence, or partnering with clients to design and deploy advanced technologies. So what I'm doing is I'm describing what I do and how I can help the company. So in the same edit info section, you're going to scroll to the bottom and you're going to edit your contact info. We want to edit your LinkedIn URL. Usually what it does is it gives you your name and a bunch of numbers. You want to see if you can eliminate those numbers, just so it's just your name. Again, that works better for keyword search when other things aren't associated. Now, if you have a really common name like Bob Brown or something like that, you're probably not going to get it. So what I would do is, if you're going after cybersecurity, is I would call myself Bob Brown Cyber Expert. Then you want to change your email or add your email. You want to have a phone number. If you have a website, put it up there. If you have a YouTube, put it up there. And if you have a Twitter account, put it up there. All of those things are ways for people to reach you. So the next thing is we're going to turn on creator mode. And what creator mode does is it associates hashtags with your profile. This is important because it's another keyword search. So examples would be like IT solutions, marketing, sales, digital media, collaboration, maybe cybersecurity. And these will appear right at the top of your profile. And so again, when somebody comes to look at your profile, they're going to see those words and go, oh, they're an expert in this area. Next up is services provided. You get 9 keywords to associate with your name. And so what we're going to do is turn on service provided. We're going to write an about section, and then we're going to choose our 9 keywords from a drop-down menu. Then we want their about section fully updated. You get 2,800 characters in the about section. You use as much of it as you can. This is really, in the case of searching for a job, a resume or an abbreviated version of your resume. You would want to talk about your goals, your experiences, your skills. The about section is actually the 3rd most viewed thing on LinkedIn. What people do is they come and look at your profile and they start scrolling down, and usually they look for your about section to learn more about you. So it's important that you have something in there that's going to demonstrate your expertise and your value. Next up is the experience section. And again, list every experience that you've had. I don't care what it is, just simply because It creates a wider audience for you to do referral-based networking with and get introductions with. Now, if you had a job, let's say at Del Taco, I would add something about, the technical aspects of the job while you were there, and how you contributed to the team. Just to demonstrate again your ability to do, let's say, teamwork and work technically. Then we're going to add a featured section. This one's a little tough to follow, but I'm going to show you when we go live how to do that. Featured section creates a stopping point on your profile. So while people are scrolling down, they'll see 2 or 3 pictures, and they usually pause and take a look at what those are. And so, again, if you're going after a cybersecurity job, you're going to want cybersecurity content there so that they get that brand image as they're scrolling down their profile. And then we have 4 sections on the very bottom of our page. We want to add all of our education, again, alumni rules. We want to add all 50 skills. And the reason skills are important is when somebody comes to visit your profile, it'll ask them, do you want to endorse Dave for solution selling? So it gives the people coming to visit your profile the opportunity to engage with you and boost things. You definitely want to put in your accomplishments. It's a great place to add charity work if you're doing some, and people love that nowadays. And then any certifications that you've achieved or any graduation points. And then the last thing is that we're going to ask for some recommendations. Now, it's tough to get recommendations from people you don't know, but if you have former customers, that would be number 1, former bosses or current bosses. You can go after peers. You can go after family that doesn't have the last name as you. So there's many different ways to do this. Now, you can simply ask for a recommendation, but what I like to do is I like to go give that person a recommendation and then ask for one. The chances of them doing it are really high if you give them one. This is my feed of my LinkedIn page. When you come to LinkedIn, it's the first thing you see. And you'll notice, the people that are on here are people that I'm following or connected to. And so it is important to sometimes clean up your feed by going into my network and unfollowing the people that you don't want to see their posts. But that is for another day. So what we're doing is we're editing our profile. So we start with this me button up here, and I click on me, and then I click on view profile. And that brings me into a profile that I can now edit. And what you'll notice is the pencils here. There's a pencil for profile language. You can add multiple languages if you speak multiple languages. There's a pencil for the URL, and you notice that I changed mine to just say Dave Elsner. Again, it's because it makes it more searchable. If yours says Bob Brown and a bunch of numbers, try and edit that to something that's more searchable. All right, the first pencil on the top of the page is the banner. You're going to click on that pencil, and it's going to go into, you see my existing banner. If I wanted to change that, I could go down and select any of the ones that LinkedIn has created for me. And there's about 30 of them here that can represent who you are. Maybe that you're looking for a job, maybe that you're a busy work-life family, or you can upload a custom photo that you've created at Canva, or maybe you just took a photo, off of the internet and then you edited it to the size that I showed in the PowerPoint. Then you're going to upload that photo and you're going to get this banner back here. Now, keep in mind, this is the first thing that somebody sees when they come to your profile. And so you want it to say right away, this is who I am and this is what I do. You notice I say modern sales training for technical sales teams. I have my business name and my slogan, and I went a step further and listed the 4 different training classes that I do. Next is your profile picture. That's edited by simply clicking on the picture and then view or edit photo. If I was to click edit, it's going to give me the ability to add a new photo or save an existing photo and adjust it as necessary. All right, so now we've got the top section of our profile done, and now we're going to move into the information section, and that's this pencil right here. So this pencil obviously gets your basic information, your name, your last name, any additional name you go by. You can actually do an audio recording, and I'll show you how to do that when I go back to the page. But this gives you 15 seconds to teach people either the pronunciation of your name or make it a short commercial. And I actually make mine a short commercial. I say, thanks for visiting my profile. Please follow my business page. You want to make sure that all LinkedIn members can see your profile. So if this says only my connections, change that to all LinkedIn members. All right, here's the headline section. And again, you notice I've got a bunch of keywords here. So what I recommend is that you use that to put in things like cybersecurity, engineering, whatever it is that you're skilled in or you've been trained in, use that and separate them by this slash. That way each word stands on its own. This is also the section where you can say, I help businesses grow, or I help businesses thrive, or I help businesses with engineering needs. Next up is going to be make sure to show your current position or add any new positions. And there's a second way to edit that I'll show you later. You need to select an industry. Make sure you select the industry based on the career field that you're looking for. So you notice my industry is professional training and coaching, but I could actually go in and edit this to be almost anything that I wanted. And it'll be a drop-down menu. So you're going to have to select the ones that are in the drop-down menu. And that's because what they do, LinkedIn, is they put you into a category to compare you to your peers. This is a place you can add education if all your education isn't there. You want to make sure that you have a location. I put United States because I work anywhere. And then you want to edit your contact info. Now, I'm going to click on this so you see what mine says. But I've got my LinkedIn address. I've got my email here. I don't put my phone number because I don't want a bunch of bots to grab my cell phone number and start texting me. But I'll tell you, if you're looking for a job, put your phone number in there. It's worth it. Any website that you have, any YouTube that you have, or any YouTube you want to share with them. And then you can add more, and you can add instant messaging and all of these types of options. But at the end of it, what you want is you want them to be able to click on the contact info button and see all the ways that they can reach you. All right, moving down the page. The next one is this services provided. And you access that by clicking on this blue button, and there'll be 3 drop-downs. It'll say looking for a job, hiring, or providing services. So you could select looking for a job, and then you can tell it recruiters only, or you can put a banner around your name that says I'm looking for a job. The reason for the adding services provided is it gives you a bunch of keywords, again, to be searchable and to demonstrate your expertise. And so you notice that I've selected these 9 from a drop-down menu, and I'm going to go ahead and edit this so you see what happens. Right here is an Add Services button, and I'm going to click that Add Services button. I'm going to find my area of expertise, and then I'm going to select it. So I'm just going to get rid of email marketing for a second to show you. Let's say I went into information technology, I went into computer networking, and I checked it. Now it's going to appear up here as one of my bubbles. Then you have the ability to write a short about section in this services provided. And what happens is when somebody comes to your page, they see those keywords. So again, it leaves a brand impression of your areas of expertise. And if they click on it, they can read more about you. And so I recommend that you fill this section out with the areas that you are an expert in. All right, I'm going to back out of that and go back to my profile. There we are. Okay, so the thing that I just showed you was this providing services, and you see the words that appear here on my profile. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to create these right here. And these are the hashtags that I talked about. This is important because anytime you connect with somebody, they automatically end up following you when you have creator mode turned on. And with that, they're going to see the content that you post later. So to start creator mode, you just go down here to resources and you click on creator mode and you turn it on. And then you select your hashtag words. And I'm going to unselect this sales enablement one to just demonstrate. I click on the add topic button and I start typing cyber security, and it has to be one word because it's a hashtag. Cyber security. I spelled it right, and then add it. And there you go. Now I have a hashtag associated with cyber security. I'm going to uncheck that and put my original one back on. And that is really the extent of this. All it's doing is creating, hashtags and keywords associated with your profile. So once you do that, it'll ask you to save it. Once you save it, then you'll end up with right below your name it says talks about sales process, sales coaching, and so on. All right, next up is the featured section. And the reason this is important is somebody will come to your profile and they'll look at this for 3 to 5 seconds to get an idea as to what you do. And then, as I told you earlier, they're going to start scrolling down to look for your about section and look for maybe your activity. But this is what we call a scroll stopper. It's pretty pictures with links to things that, again, further demonstrate my expertise. I've got one of my social selling class offers here where we do a $49 a month workshop to help you grow in every area of LinkedIn. I put one of my podcasts up here. I put some testimonials. I put my certifications. And so they're the things that I would want a potential, recruiter or, hiring manager to see when they come to my page. Then you're going to see the activity. Now you can have your activity show videos or posts. And so you select that by creating this pencil right here. And then you select posts or videos. I have mine turned on for videos, again, because it's more pictures for somebody to stop and take a look at. All right, so featured section, let's get back to that. So featured, right here in the middle of the page, we're going to go to add profile section. We're going to go to recommended, and then we're going to click on add featured. What you'll see is a pencil will appear on the top here. A plus sign will appear on the top here. So we're going to click the plus sign, and we're either going to create a post, we're going to add an article that we've saved to our hard drive, we're going to add a link if you have a website you want them to visit, or you can add media, and media would be a picture or a video that you like. Now, the other way to do featured content is to actually go to your activity. What you do is you post something on LinkedIn. Go back to my profile page again. You post something on LinkedIn, and here's my post right here. And then you go into the post that you want to highlight. And let's say it's this one. This is a vodcast that I did recently. And then you click on these 3 dots up here and you say feature on top of profile. That will take that post and put it into your featured content. All right, I know this is a lot. That's why I said don't try and keep up. Just hit pause once you get the recorded session, and you can go from there. So now I have my featured section. Excuse me. Now I'm going to start getting active, and I'll teach you content later. And now I want to edit my about section. And here's the about section. Here's the pencil. So I just click on that pencil, and you see I've got 2,600 characters that I can plug in there. I believe this is going to be your resume section. And so you may want to start by copying and pasting your resume in there and then editing it as you see fit. The next thing you're going to want to do is add some skills down here. And that's because when they go to the about section, now you got 5 more keywords that people can associate with your profile. And you see the 5 I've chosen, just choose the 5 most appropriate to you. So I'm going to save that. And like I said, when somebody comes to your profile, they typically start here, they pause here, and then they go here and click see more because they want to know more about you. And you'll notice at the bottom of it, I have my top skills here. All right, next up as we go down the page is your experience section. So the experience section, again, is edited with this pencil, or you can add new experiences with the plus mark. Once you're in there, make sure to fill it out with the best description possible of the skills that you learned on that job that apply to the new jobs you may be applying for. And then also notice you can add media down here. And if I just click on this pencil to edit it, there's my top job right there. And there's the 3 graphics that I chose to add more color to my page. And just about every job that I have, I'm doing that kind of media in there to grab their attention even further. All right, let's go back. We are almost done. All right, so we just hit the experience section. Now we're going to go down and do our licenses and certifications. Again, here's the pencil. We're going to do our skills. And again, here's the pencil. And then we're going to do our recommendations. Now, if you look at your profile page and none of these things appear, what you need to do is go to the very top of your profile and click on this Add Profile section. So you see I can add education, I can add a position, I can add the ones that they recommend, featured, licenses, project, courses, and then they have some additional categories that you can add as well. And so anytime you're going to add something and you don't see that it's actually on your profile, you can add it here and then go back to that section, click the pencil, and edit that section itself. All righty. So in skills, by the way, you get up to 50 skills. I select all 50. The reason is obviously you want to demonstrate that you have skills in a lot of different areas. And let me tell you, there is a ton to choose from. But the importance of this skills section is that when somebody visits my profile, near the top, it's going to say, do you want to endorse Dave? And that's what these people have done. I've got 99 people that have endorsed me for social selling, and so on and so forth. I can look down the page and, I've got friends and associates that have visited my profile and taken the time to endorse me for the skills that I want to demonstrate. All right, going back one more time. All right, last up is recommendations. So recommendations is at the bottom of your page, or almost the bottom of your page. You see I've got honors and awards here. I've got interests here, and I'll tell you about those in a second. But it's almost at the bottom, but it's like the 4th most viewed thing on your profile. people scroll down to look at that to see what other people are saying about you. So you can click the plus sign and ask for a recommendation, or you can click the plus sign and give a recommendation. And with that, I like to give one first. Now, there's one other way to do this, and that is I can type in anybody's name. Here, let me go to one of my good friends here, Francis, and I can go to Francis's page, and I can click on his More button, and I can say request a recommendation right here. So that's the second way to do it. But again, the best strategy is I'm going to go in and recommend him, and then I'm going to request a recommendation itself. All right, heading back to my profile. All right, there we are. Okay, so honors and awards are up in the upper section where it says add profile section. And by the way, LinkedIn has some really good learning classes that you can take. I've taken a few of them that you can add to your profile itself. You notice licenses and certifications here. I've taken a couple LinkedIn courses like B2B marketing, what you need to know to get started with your training program, that I can then add to that licenses and certification to, again, demonstrate more of my skills and expertise. And then the last one on the very bottom here, it is really important that you follow thought leaders. And so it's easy to find thought leaders. You know, I follow John Chambers because I worked and sold Cisco stuff for a lot of years. You know, this is a guy that teaches a training course, and I love his content. You also want to follow the companies that you're applying for jobs with. The reason is then you'll get insights about that company, its culture, its products, its services. And then another important one is groups. You want to join the appropriate groups. And so the group should be the same as your area of interest. The way that I find groups is I come up here and I type in cyber security. That would be one area that I would want, and I simply hit enter. Or I can go to cybersecurity groups here. But I'm going to show you the hard way. I hit enter, and then you see these bubbles appear up here. And you see I can look for people, jobs, groups, posts. These are all the things I can look for, but I'm going to join a group right now, and I'm going to look for the one with the most members. The reason for that is when I post content, I can also post that content in that forum. And so join the groups of interest for your area of interest for a job. All right, back to my profile. So when your profile is complete, what you're going to have is a banner and a professional image, your headline right here, your hashtags, your providing services, contact info, creator mode on, featured section, your activity, your about section, experience, and so on and so on. And it really ends up being a beautiful web page to demonstrate your expertise. By the way, in the beginning of this, I told you about the voice. Have a listen. Hi, I'm Dave Elsner, the tech sales coach. While you're visiting me, please give my business page a follow at the Tech Sales Coach. Thanks, and have a great day. So you can record that, and you can record whatever you want. The intent of it was for name pronunciation. And if you have a tough name to pronounce, go ahead and pronounce your name for them. But you get 15 seconds, so take the time to say maybe something additional, like, thanks for visiting my profile. I hope to see you on LinkedIn soon.